Hello everyone and welcome to video 4. Are you ready for the 30-day challenge? Are you a little bit nervous? Maybe slightly scared? Well, you don't need to be because we're prepping you for this. But before we jump into talking about the 30-day challenge, I want to just do a quick little recap of where we've come to this point. We started by talking about posture in video 1, making sure your checkpoints are all in line and you have your focus kind of set up for the best possible chances of success. And then second, we moved into getting your own attention through tuning in with the breath, because you need to get your attention before you could hold your attention. And then we moved into actually directing and holding your attention, because your attention will be under attack through all your thoughts and the monkey mind chatter and all these things. And you want to be able to constantly bring that focus back, bring the attention back without judgment over and over again, because that's where the real meditation happens. And that prepares us for this next phase I want to talk to you about really quick right now, and that's called the rhythm. And I wanted to point out the rhythm as something separate, because this is probably what you think of when you think about meditating, is just the calm, steady, even breaths in, even breaths out, even breaths in, even breaths out. And all of those other phases that I've talked about kind of prepare you for settling in to a nice rhythm with yourself. So that's probably the meat of your practice. If you have a 10-minute segment, that's probably 7 minutes or so of your practice is falling into the rhythm, getting your attention, focusing your attention, and settling into the rhythm. And the final phase of the segment would be what I call sitting in your bliss. And this is a really important point that was pointed out to me by a monk about a year or so ago now. He asked me straight up, he said, "You know why you're spending all this time working on these techniques, right?" And I said, because that's what the guru said to do, you know? And he said, "You want to benefit from all of the practice you're doing and applying all the techniques by sitting for a little extra time at the end of your meditation, sitting in your bliss." Because he said that's when your consciousness actually expands, and that's where you really get to benefit from all the hard work you just did. So what I will warn you against is to not just jump up the second your buzzer goes off, or your egg timer, whatever it may be that you're timing your sessions with. You don't just want to jump up and run away and get back to work the second your alarm goes off. You want to sit there for a few extra minutes and just soak it in and just pay attention a little bit longer and linger on and think, wow, is my attention a little bit better? Is my mind a little bit quieter? Does the world glow or shine a little bit differently to me? And start focusing a little bit more on your gratitude. What are you grateful for? That is such a powerful time to really take in how amazing your life is, right when you've done all of this important work to clear that static we've been talking about. So does that make sense? You want to finish with sitting in your bliss just a couple extra minutes longer. All right, so now that we talked about those phases, let's talk about the 30-day challenge. What's all this hype about the 30-day challenge? Well, it's no mystery that it takes about 30 days to form a solid habit. I don't know if you're familiar with the book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, but it's a great book. It came out about 3 years ago. And in it, he reverse engineers all sorts of amazing habits. And he basically he breaks it down into 3 essential core components to form any habit. And that would be the trigger, or what he calls the cue, the habit or the routine itself, and then finally the reward. So we want to think about those 3 components as they apply to this meditation habit we want to form over the next 30 days. And again, another why part of the 30 days is that I know that if you form a habit, as many of other people in our programs have, you will take in so much more learning and be so much more open to all of the amazing changes that are taking place in your life, so much more grateful for things. It just really puts a beautiful lens on everything. That's why it's so important to cultivate this 30-day habit right out of the gate. So 30 days, what are we going to do for 30 days? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to commit to a segment length, no shorter than 5 minutes per day for 30 days. Ideally, it would be around 10 total end to end. But here's the thing, it has to be all 7 days of the week. It's not about the duration of the segment I'm looking for. I'm looking for consistency. Can you go 30 for 30 in all 30 days? 30 days of 30 sessions. I believe you can, especially if you go for just about 10 minutes or so. You'll be fine. The goal is going to be to work up to 15 minutes eventually. And if you think about that, 15 minutes has the power to truly change your life. I've seen it over and over with so many people. I recognized that myself when I got to the 15-minute level years ago, is that means that every 96 days or so, you're spending a full 24 hours in meditation. That's 15 minutes a day times 96 days, it's 24 hours. Cool stuff. All right, so 30 days, you're going to commit to your minimum 5 minutes, but hopefully 10-minute session. And you're going to set up your nightstand the night before. Put that glass of water on your nightstand so you have something to reach for when you throw your feet over, your tired feet over the side of your bed. Hydrate the body, feel it go down, tense the body 3 times, and then try to get your butt to that cushion as soon as possible. That's your trigger. Waking up, grabbing the water. Get your butt to the cushion. Don't reach for your phone because you're going to go start off-roading through all of your urgencies and issues and things. So you could set up other triggers as well. Like one of mine is lighting a candle. I know that if I light my candle on my altar, that I'm committing to 1 hour of meditation. So I think long and hard before I light that candle. But think of those triggers. What's going to set it up for you? Next, I've already covered in detail what the routine is that we're talking about. So then we could skip ahead to what the reward is going to be. And one of the things I could suggest to you to support your practice is to sign up for this app or to purchase this app called Insight Timer. It's on the iTunes App Store. You could also get it for Android. But Insight Timer is great. It has all these cool gongs and bells. That's what I've been using to time these sessions we're doing for these videos. But it also has a little social network in it that we could keep track of each other's progress. We could get gold stars and all these things. And I also have a private group called This Epic Life, The Pause, which I'd love for you to join. So you go into the Insight Timer app, look for This Epic Life, The Pause, and we could kind of see each other meditating, keep tabs on each other, offer words of encouragement, and kind of share little tips and tricks. There's also tons of guided meditations as part of the app too, but I'd really love for you to focus on sitting with yourself at first, if you could do that for me. So pick up Insight Timer. Another couple of cool apps I've heard about, Calm.com has a beautiful meditation app or mindfulness app, and that's Calm, C-A-L-M.com. And there's also Buddhify, which I've heard is just really amazing. So check those out. But I also want to warn you not to get so obsessed with the apps, because that's just like reading too much about meditation. You don't read a book on running, you just go get your ass out the door and go running. Same thing with meditation. I don't want you to overthink it or like search for the right app or the right Lululemon pants and candles. Like, you don't need to set up everything. You just need to sit down and do it. All you need is maybe a cushion and a quiet place, semi-quiet place. Sound good? All right, so that's the 30-day challenge. We're going to keep tabs on each other for 30 days. And I really want to know how it's going. I want to know any shifts that are taking place. I'm going to tell you that over the 30 days, it will be a rocky road. You will be swearing up and down that it is not doing anything for you and that it's only, stealing time away from you. Like, these are all the things that the ego does to try to keep us from meditating. The meditation is what I call the quietest voice. It's not going to stand up and protest if you don't practice every single day. However, what I notice is that when I don't practice steadily and I'm off my game, my life just becomes a lot more complex, a lot more dramatic, and I find that the more I do it, the more I need it. And I'm hoping to get you over that same hurdle. It's a very, very powerful place to be. All right, so 30 days, does it sound good? Are you scared now? I think you got this. So I will talk to you in the next video about perseverance.